to another Blender tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up this interior bedroom scene. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do your lighting, how to set up your stuff to give it a much more realistic feel, and just so everything looks a lot more natural and livable. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is basically starting up here, your default cube, you just want to have that selected. Hit N on your keyboard, and let's change the scale to the room size that we want. So in this case I want to go 6 meter by 6 meter, and I want to go 3 meters high. Okay, so the next thing we want to do from here is basically this cube, we want it to sit onto the grid. You can see half of it is coming below the grid, and the reason we want to do that is that when we bring in our assets to fill in the room, the assets can actually sit flush on the floor or the ground instead of being in the middle of the air. So to do that, you're going to need your cube selected and hit 1 on your numpad. That's going to bring you to the front view. So G and Control, and you can just move up Z. And there we go. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to set up our camera angle for this. So what we're going to do is just go into the cube. Use your scroll button on your mouse to just go into the cube. Okay, so we just want to set up the angle that we actually want to see, and this is basically, okay, hit N to close that up, and this is basically just what you want to see uh, in your render. This is the angle that you want to see in your render. So what I actually want to do here is I want to basically just get the camera to be exactly to the point that I am right now. So to do that, we're actually going to need to just hit, you could manually do it, but this is a shortcut. So you just hit Control Alt 0, and that'll bring the camera directly to where you are. So the one thing that you'll notice is that it's looking into this area, and we actually wanted to focus on this entire area. So you can select your camera and come down to the camera icon here, change the focal length. So if you decrease it, you'll see the camera actually comes back. So just go with what you guys are happy with. You don't have to follow me exact. For me, I say this is pretty good. So I'm going to stick with this. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is select the cube again, and I want to come and add some lighting to this, basically, just so I can get a feel of how I want the room to be. So come over to your render view, just click the top here, and we want to change over from EV to cycles and CPU to GPU, and you guys are going to notice everything is pitch black. And we'll sort that out in a minute, but we just want to change that first and enable denoising. Alright, so what we're going to do is here, let's go back to this view. We're going to select our cube and hit tab to go into edit mode. So let's just go over to this wall over here. I want a window over here, basically, just so the lighting can come in. And sorry if I sound a bit weird, guys. I'm just like I actually just been having the flu for the past couple of days, so apologies if I sound a bit weird. Okay, so we want to add a window over here, and you guys don't have to worry about adding glass and stuff because you're not going to see the window. We just want the light to pass through it to give the room a much more natural feel. Okay, so what we want to do is just going to go into edit mode and hover over this wall, Control R. That's going to give us a look cut, right? Control R again. Okay, Control R somewhere. Let's see, I want the window to be a quite big one. Okay, and then let's just choose the height. Control R. I want the window somewhere there. Control R. I want it to be quite a low window, so we got a lot of natural light coming in. Okay, so the next step we want to do is actually, let's just add a cut in the center here, and let's add a bunch of cuts over there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's just select that, face eye to invert, and just use your mouse and move a bit. Select the next. And the reason we are inverting this is because we want these shadows to actually reflect onto the bed. Okay, so hold shift and select all of the insides here, and X, and delete those faces. Okay, so now we're going to add some light into the scene. So let's go. What we can do is, before we actually add the light, let's put a material into the room. Okay, so with just select everything here, just hit A, and then I'm actually using free materials online, so you guys can get that at any place like Blender Market and stuff, or even well, just search up like free materials and everything will pop up, and then you guys can just use that. So I'm just using, I've got an add-on enabled, but if you guys would like to know how to use the add-on that I'm using and how to install it, I will make that in a separate video. Just let me know down in the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna hit N on mine. Obviously you guys won't need to follow this. This is a plaster texture, so I'm just gonna apply that here. Okay, you guys can't really see it now because it's gray. Okay, so I'm gonna come down. Basically, I'm gonna select the floor. To select, when you're adding materials, right? Because I selected everything, there's plaster materials everywhere. That's why this entire thing changed gray. But I want the floor to be a separate material. I want the floor to be like a wooden floor. So you gotta select one on the bottom face and hit Shift G. That selects some of the normals, and there we go. And that'll select everything that's in the bottom here. So you're gonna come down over here after that, and then hit the plus icon and assign it to a new material. So now we can add this wood material to this. There we go. So in my case, the material is actually, it needs to be scaled down because you can see it's way too big. So you just want to hit U and Smart UV Project. Okay, right. But I feel it's still too big for what I want, so I'm actually going to go into UV editing. Just scroll over here. There, hit 0 to go into my camera view, and I'm going to hit 8, select all, and then I'm just going to scale. So basically just S, and you can move your mouse back or forth and get the result that you want. Okay, so I actually want something around there. And when you're done here, you can just go back to layout. And okay, so what I'm going to do now is we can go into this view. And you're not going to see anything because there's no light in the scene. So first, let's add in some light. So come over to the world properties and go on color. Color, and choose a sky texture. There we go. Okay, so now we've got a sky texture in here, and let me just close this up. So what I want is for this light to actually be shining onto here. So what we can do is we can change the rotation of the sun. So just rotate it till, there we go. There we go. Yeah, see, you guys can just rotate it to basically the amount that you want and the way you want it. And this is actually where that comes into hand.
Apologies guys, my audio got corrupted, but basically this is the setup and placement of the free assets I downloaded earlier and put in the scene. I just hid them from the viewport, so it's more or less just placing the models where it feels natural and playing with the light to give the room a more lived-in feel. You can scale up objects that you feel should be bigger or smaller, play around with it till you get something you're happy with. I did change the position of the painting by the bed and added another. It gave the room a much better feel. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Till then, cheers.